improvement. He does the job that he needs to do and get that fight on the exit. Absolutely brilliant.
We just witnessed the greatest moment in world history as an esport. It was absolutely incredible.
Overcome the biggest team to win the Intel Extreme Masters.
Welcome to day 2 of the Intel Extreme Masters American Championship Finals, and we're going to start today with Counter-Strike 1.6 as of yesterday, I should probably say. With me is Stuart Toswot. How are you doing today?
Very good, Joe. Well rested.
Yeah.
Finally got my luggage back. Those kind folks at BA decided 36 hours later they would actually drop off the luggage, so I'm clean again.
Good.
Not that you could smell me, but Joe could yesterday.
Well, we're going to get into our first game of the day. Today we'll be showing Group B, which is, headlined by Complexity. First game, though, we're having Sway versus Exigent. Complexity are playing a local team who apparently only play Counter-Strike Source, so we decided not to show that one. And it looks like the servers crashed. No? It just lagged.
It thought about it, yeah.
It just lagged. So, yeah, by the looks of things, Sway going to take the CT side, and we're going to be playing Tuscan, which I always enjoy to see, a bit of Tuscan. Not sure, really, how much it's actually played over in the US, to be honest.
No, it's a very German-orientated map.
Yeah.
The Europeans pick it up, and basically anyone who plays ESL religiously will play Tuscan.
Yeah.
But over in the States, they only get the 1 or 2 events a year from the ESL, so this is their chance to see it. Now, of course, anyone who played CPL will know the general outlay of it, but it's going to be difficult. Sway in this one will probably be the favourites, I would hazard a guess, because they're the team that I've heard of.
Yeah, these two teams actually are going to be the, I think, challengers for that second place. A lot of people saying Sway. Exigent, of course, did well to get through to this stage, but I think this is going to be a real close match, or at least I'm hoping for one, because yesterday, the 3 games we saw, not all that close. EG pretty much dominating their way through, and the final game was just pretty much one-sided as well. So we're going to be showing all 3 games from Group B. We have planned right now Sway versus Exigent, then Sway versus Complexity, and then Complexity versus Exigent. They're the 3 best games of what's going on there. Like we said, High Rollers replaced by the local team who play Counter-Strike Source, who, we're not really expecting all that much from them, but as the teams yesterday, they actually earn a bit of cash for being here anyway, and a bit of experience on LAN, play against some of the best teams in the US. Why not?
It's a great experience, and you get to take home some prizes as well. And the top 2 go through to the World Finals at CBIT in March. So there's certainly going to be a lot of action there. This is the good thing about this, I guess you'd call it a season, is that everything has an effect on the latter stages. So what you win here, takes you through to the next round and so on. And I think that's something that's been missing from a lot of tournaments, that they happen that weekend, and then there's no legacy. Here, what you do this weekend affects whether you go to CBIT. Yeah,
indeed. And it's quite a coveted trip. Obviously, most people expecting the 2 teams to go through to be EG and Complexity, and there would actually be no surprises if that were the case. The surprise would come if that wasn't the case. And I'm sure both of those sides would be disappointed. Apparently, Sway right now are in a huddle and screaming at each other to get fired up for this game. So we should be getting ready to go here very shortly.
They'll be taking it as seriously as they can, because they have practiced a lot, Sway. They're a name that have been around North American and particularly Canadian CS for a long, long time. Never quite made it all the way there, but they've got some big faces in there. I saw on their roster there A to Z, who I recognize from a few North American tournaments. So they'll be looking at this, and this is their best opportunity to get a trip to one of the big events.
Yeah, certainly. And this Group B, this is going to be the game for second place, unless Complexity slips up along the way, which you could never really expect from them. But we are going to get live. Quick rundown of the teams for Exigent. Starting out here on Terry's side, we have Nighthound, Cool Fool, Anthony, SFX, and Deacon. And for Sway is Ness, Technical, Yayu, Ian, and the other one, A to Z. They change around from the kills. Here comes a nice little push, actually, down that middle area from Sway. A to Z's taken down Deacon there. Only one man remains. Yeah, Yu's going to take him out. There was a stray grenade, actually, from Ness. That took down A to Z at the end, or A to Z, since we're doing the American League, I guess we should call him, just to fit in with the cool kids.
Yeah, it's, it was interesting. We were casting Quake yesterday, and Jay was like ZTN. I'm always used to calling it ZTN, just for habit of the way that the Americans have always called it. So yeah, we'll fit in. We Brits, we're a peaceful race, A to Z, and it does look like the server may have lagged again. It's back.
Oh, it was laggy there for a second.
But here we go. This is the first round after the pistol, and Yeyu is going to open up the shots down towards Anthony and lands the frag behind that wall.
What?
How on earth he knew that, I'm not sure, but he did, and is looking down now towards SFX and has taken him down to 15 points of health. That is odd how he saw those two shots, I'm not going to lie. Deacon is going to be dropped by Ian. A to Z is in on the frags and drops Cool Fall, but I'm still a little lost as to how we just saw those two shots from Yeyu. They were, if they weren't on land, they would be very, very suspicious.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. Maybe those positions were called out to him, but still, it looked pretty random there from where he was standing. He will find the final one as well, and Yeyu is 4-0 for his side, and, looking dodgy or not, it doesn't really matter right now. We've got the admins on site, and I'm sure if anything strange is going on, it will be, kind of figured out, but you can't really imagine it from a team like Sway.
No, you can't. That's for sure. And
but we'll watch Yeyu anyway, just for the fun of it.
Let's see if he pulls out anything else unexpected. Nope, definitely not. As he doesn't land that one charging around the corner, someone forces him back still on 100 points of health. A to Z will open up with a famous frag onto Anthony. There's Yeyu in on the action. SFX goes down, and Sway will look to close this one out. Deacon gets himself the Deagle frag, and now Sway with A to Z completing his hat trick. Lovely frag there from Coolful. But this is going to be 3 rounds down, and we'll move on to the first buy round.
Yeah, this is a round, that they've done well on. A couple of frags, not so bad for Exigent there, but it will be Sway who pick up that 3-0 start. And obviously now the guns are going to be in the hands of the Americans as they try to work their way back into this game. And you can expect things to maybe slow down a touch here as they start to work out exactly what's going to happen. And I always kind of like Tuscan, just the layout of the map's real nice. The whole kind of, you've got two fronts of players that stand toe-to-toe almost with the way the map's laid out, and it always allows for a lot of action on every kind of front, if you like, on this map. Here's A to Z, actually crawled his way down that banana walkway very early on in this one, but won't push any further than that. Ian's watching around that middle area as well. Still a kind of early start here. Ness with the AUG taking down Anthony, and that's maybe a little bit early. Maybe he just really likes the AUG. He's with 2 kills already this round, but Exigent not actually coming out of spawn here pretty much. They, I said they'd probably slow things down, but I think they took it to the extreme and, well, almost...
The Intel Extreme Masters.
Yeah, they took it
there we go. Yesterday we were all about the puns on
they weren't the Masters, unfortunately.
Yesterday, if you had the pleasure of watching our 30-0 matches where EG was
at
playing...
like 2 AM, it wasn't good for us.
We decided that we would just make puns out of the players' names, and we'll continue that tradition today, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As the funds are ready to go. Like Funhouse. Here we go. A to Z opens up with a fragging onto Anthony. Coolful goes down as well, but A to Z's gone. SFX picks up that frag, and he's got himself the frag onto Ian as well. They're a man down our Exigent, but they're in on this top site, and will now look to make their way across. Deacon does not have the bomb, as the bomb is with... Well, I'm not sure where the bomb is. My overlay map is putting with SFX in the top, in the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, it is with SFX.
And let's see whether he's able to do anything about it at the moment. He's in and around that side. I think he's thrown the bomb down, actually, tried to pass it along to Deacon. We can't see him, but there's Ness coming in with the frag onto SFX. The Deacon is now a lone soldier as he's taken down the first 2 men, I think it was, that Deacon got those frags. So he'd have to go for the AWP, for the ace if he wanted to take the round. But by the time I've spat that sentence out, he's already dead.
And that will be first 5 rounds for Sway. And like we said, Sway will go up against Complexity in the next game, which will, certainly complexity will be looking forward to that, and it's a similar situation to what we had yesterday, actually, which is the top 2 teams that you'd predict to go through having, you know, not facing each other in the first round, but in the second round. So they've got that warm up, and also it's not too late. It's a bit different today because we're starting with Counter-Strike 1.6 and finishing, actually, because we'll do the semi-finals later on. Here's Ness again with the and he's got himself 2 early on, and really Exigent haven't been able to really offer much. I mean, right now, they've only got 6 kills.
Now, it wasn't a mistake from Ness to buy that, because he's rebought it after dying.
Yeah. Definitely just likes the weapon.
And has got 4 frags with it this round.
Yeah. He's 10 and... Oh, no, that's not him. He's 8 and 1, which, you know, is...
Best ratio.
Very, very good. Yeah, I mean, A to Z at the moment leading the way with 10 and 3. But you look at Exigent, 1 and 6, 1 and 6, 1 and 6, and then SFX and Deacon, who's probably carrying a Deagle this round, is 2 and 6 as well. No, it's going to be money in the hands of Exigent. The game obviously just helping them out a little bit now. And the thing for me, if we look at this Exigent side, they're being pushed very early on. Yayu's actually got into a really sneaky position here. Ness again with his AUG is going to open up with 1. Yayu did get himself the 1 frag there as well. And there was another man around there somewhere, I think. He's probably ran away to get some cover. Actually, it's Deacon who's moved up underneath the ground into through the door and to the back of that bomb site. But there's a grenade from Yayu, and Sway are going to pick things up. And to be honest, I was expecting a little bit more from Exigent in this match.
Yeah, no, they've been terrible. Let's not beat around the bush. Sway have been given freedom of the map. They're allowed to be very, very offensive. There's no nades whatsoever from Exigent. You know, if you've ever played CS on a competitive level, your nades are your biggest counter. You can push play your opponents where you want them to go so you can make your attack. Look at this. Ness is able to run on through. Absolutely nothing coming his way. He will soon extend down to where he's throwing his nades, or he'll just die. Deacon picks up the AK frag, and Exigent have got entry into this top site, followed up with Anthony's frag. And oh dear, Exigent may well have made me look rather silly, as they look like they're going to pick up this round. They've got clear entry into the site and should be able to get in. A to Z and Ian are pushing up, and Tinkle's going to come through the door as well. Ian opens up the fragging with his AWP. Here's Coolful denying Tinkle, and you would have thought he would have got that frag, but A to Z going to work. He's got himself 2 frags, now looks around the back of the box, but is dropped by Nighthound from the ramp, and that'll be that. And Exigent are on the board.
Yeah, first round for Exigent, and, you know, we said, you know, let's not beat around the bush. They're doing pretty terrible. And then all of a sudden, they came back into it. It's kind of the commentator's curse, but in reverse, that one. But still, they're 7-1 behind. And, you know, there's a lot of kind of opinions on what sided kind of map Tuscan is, you know, but it really depends. And the thing we've seen when it was first introduced into play in Europe rather than just in Germany, that the T side was pretty strong because there was more freedom, and you know, the map is still evolving, as are pretty much all of the maps even still today, despite being played for lots and lots of years. Here's Coolful on Banana, and it's looking like Sway are going to bounce straight back in this one. 3 on 2. Bomb is with Coolful here on Banana. You see Technical there up in the top of that 2 site, looking down towards Banana. Coolful not going to peek just yet. They've taken down A to Z, and that could be the opening that Exigent are looking for. But they're very, very slow. This next kill will signal a faster push. When they get this next kill, they've got to push where that kill comes. Otherwise, the clock's going to tick away. I mean, they're moving deeper into spawn right now with 30 seconds to go. And they're finally going to pick up the pace just a little and move over in towards that site. Yeah, you may just catch them out here as they move up the kitty area, which is no longer got to be Cat looking over it, but it will always be Kitty in my eyes. And here's Yayu. Bomb should get planted here in a second. Nades will be put in there. That bomb is ticking away. So now Exigent here done the business. Now they just have to hold on to the site.
Well, actually, they're set up perfectly for it. They're opposite it, and they should really just stand their ground, and they will at least run down the clock, if not win this round.
Technical taking things very slow here, and they did a good job there setting up that crossfire and pretty much simultaneously taking down those 2 remaining players. So it's 2 in a row for Exigent, and maybe they just needed to get in the swing of things.
No, yeah, these last 2 rounds have been very different to the previous 7. But we are 9 rounds into this one with, remember, we have to play out the full 30 because this is group stage and the round difference count. So it's very, very important that Exigent make a stand for it here, because also, even if they don't stand a chance of going through, or they may relegate themselves to not standing a chance of going through, there is a prize difference between 5th and 6th and 8th. So they don't just want to concede a group. True. And they'll look at this as their opportunity to do so. But here we go. Deacon with the HE drops Yeyu. Exigent are down to a 2-on-2 here. Coolfool and Deacon against A to Z and Ian. And Deacon's going to get himself the frag onto Ian, and this could be a 3rd straight round for them, unless A to Z's got something to say about it. As he makes his way up, he's got 2 players to his left here, and he will fly around that corner, bomb planted, slowly flying around that corner in towards the site. There should be one right in front of him that he's looking for. It's Coolfool that's in that corner now, and Deacon is actually pushing out across the middle. He gets dropped by the headshot, and A to Z finishes off the round. Textbook stuff from A to Z.
Well, he could tell that he's done the damage behind that box there and still got a HE in hand. It's obvious where it's going to go. Then it was all about the second man, who he actually killed while that grenade was still mid-air. And A to Z, good little individual performance there to bring Sway to an 8-2 lead. And, of course, we have 5 rounds to go here in this first half. And like you said, Toss, there is a prize difference between 5th, 6th and 7th, 8th. Which I forgot, but it's on my piece of paper here. Yeah, it's an extra $250. 5th, 6th is 1,000, 7th, 8th is 750. There's a good early push from Sway. Ian will go and take down 2 before being killed himself. A to Z watching over that middle area as well. Anthony's brought one back for his team, but still the advantage lies with Sway. What can Nighthound do? A to Z pushing down Banana. You moving down middle. A to Z is dead there. And that's bad news, actually. Or maybe for Sway. As we come back to a 2 versus 2. You can see that Exigent still have 1 minute barely on the clock. And that's really quite a lot of time for them to find an entry into one of these sites. But Yeyu has done the job that he needed to do. Bring the advantage back towards Sway. And now it's all on Nighthound. Crawling his way towards that middle area, which right now is free. Except he's got a man behind him, and that was technical, and Nighthound just chipping away and got him down to 24 HP, but just not enough, and Sway will pick up another.
Sway are looking pretty good now, as they just seem to have stopped that 2-round rot, and will progress. If they can just close out this half without too much incident, they'll be sitting pretty for half-time. As we're on board with technical as he makes his way through the middle of the site. The Exigent side, again, slow out of the blocks, and are in fact all rushing up towards the other site from Banana. And here they go. It's going to be SFX to leave in. Looks like it's a complete save round for them, having lost those 2 rounds previously. Anthony gets himself a Deagle frag onto Ian, and A to Z charges on through. Bomb planted. That was their objective this round, Exigent, you have to feel. But A to Z has got his own objectives that are getting frags, but Anthony says no. Yeyu comes in and downs Anthony, but here goes Deacon, misses point blank. Coolfool is in on Yeyu, but technical will drop down the last man. And in fact, they got 3 frags that round, just leaving Ness and technical left up. So an expensive round for Sway.
Well, I really like that bomb site there, the 2 site here on Tuscan. The fact that when you're in there, even with Deagles, because of the way the entrances are, you can actually defend it fairly close range. And with a Deagle close range, 1 shot to the head, and you've got your kill right there. So it's really great to see that, and I think it adds a lot to this map. The problem is usually just literally getting to that site when you're on an eco in the first place. But Exigent just gambled, had a quick run up there, and he paid off for them. Here's Ian again pushing early down middle. Ness will watch his usual kitty area. A to Z pushes down Banana as well, which this time didn't prove so fruitful for him. But now there are only 2 remain for Exigent. It's Yayu, Ian, and Technical to defend. There's Yayu onto Anthony, and Cool Fool now all on his lonesome, but he's got the bomb. And his objective now should be to get that plant in wherever possible. I think he's got Ian somewhere around here. He will have Ian off to his left, and that will be the final kill. An 11-2 half here on this CT side. And you know, maybe one of these teams has played Tuscan a little bit more than the other, and on, you know, even if 2 teams are really level, and I think this is kind of proven if you look at the last seasons where we've had Tuscan in the Intel Extreme Masters, that every team that plays a German team, whether it's NTW, NYM, Fnatic, you know, they throw out Tuscan against a German team, because even if you're 2 teams that are on level, or even if you're a better team, you go up on a map that you're not really all that strong on and don't know that well, you can fall.
And it's interesting that's still the case after however many years Tuscan has been a mainstay in the map pool. It's just because the Germans play it naturally, and the rest of the world don't. Yayu opens himself up with a frag onto Cool Fool, and we are left with a 3 versus 2 in favor of Sway. Nighthound and SFX are the 2 that are left up, and Technical and Yayu are on the prowl. As SFX
Still in spawn.
He's safe there, though.
This is true. The one place, actually, that he is safe, although Yayu is waiting around that corner. There is Yayu. And now it's all on Nighthound, who is thinking, maybe I should go back to spawn for a while, just in case. He doesn't know where Yayu's gone now. And we'll look to figure that out. There's Ness. Technical around the middle, and it was Ness that found Nighthound in the end. And we will move on to the final round here in this first half. Sway leading 12-2.
12-2 the score. Everyone will buy up whatever they can and see if they can do some damage on this round to make a game of it. And yeah, that's pretty much the right thing to do from Sway's perspective. Well, from both sides' perspective, it's just a case of get this over with. Sway have dealt with Exigent in a very good manner. This would have been the game that they had to win to make sure that, you know, they can get through in second place and get through into the top 4 on the assumption that the results go the way. A to Z opens up with a double frag onto Anthony, and now it's looking rather good for them to close this half out the way that they were hoping to. And Exigent of just Cool Fool making his way along, and he's, again, defensive, and now dead.
As the end of the first half, then 13-2 it will end, and that's a very, very confident CT side on Tuscan here from Sway, and a great start to their tournament campaign at the American Championship Finals. And we'll get the restarts in straight away, no messing around. And I'm going to write the score down because I always forget it. Even though the producers are pretty much on the ball today and keeping us up to speed, but you never know. Like we said, plenty of money here for grabs in the Counter-Strike tournament. The even the 7th, 8th positions picking up $750. Actually, we're not going to have the restarts just yet. I think they're going to take a little bit of time. Let's just have a look at the admins.
Huddle again for Sway. They're very loving.
I love that. The admin's saying we have a shouting team. And then say, we have 3 shouting teams. Like, yeah, obviously. Yeah, Sway are apparently AFK and no doubt having that huddle and saying, you know, we've pretty much done the business here. Let's just finish it off, get a good score out. Let's ask if there's... on the call game. Yeah, Complexity are playing Facepalm, which is the Counter-Strike Source team that have come in to replace High Rollers for this tournament. And, of course, we had Kindred in Group A as well, who were a local team who didn't fare too well, but they got some experience and $750. Yeah. Why not?
It's not bad for an afternoon's work from their perspective, and they can put that on their profile and say that they've been to LAN. They're LAN tested now.
Yeah. They can add it onto their got frag posts and stuff like that. Like 7th, 8th place at Intel Extreme Masters Season 4 American Championship Finals.
It's more than I'll ever get.
Actually, I won more than that once, but
What in?
Battlefield 2.
Oh, those were the days. You and D-Man tearing stuff up
Yeah,
before D-Man got old.
it was awesome. Remember to play all 30 rounds. I'm sure they won't forget. Thanks, admins.
It is a touch of a bit of a non-event when you have to play out all the rounds because you know who won, we know who's won, and normally the team who's winning, and when it gets to this stage, it just kind of stays that way. Nothing really evolves.
I think if you only played 16 to whatever, you could still do the difference, right?
Yeah, that's how I would do it, and just say, right.
Or you just do, instead of counting rounds at the end of it, you do who beat who. But then you have more like 3-way ties and things like that. So.
But if it was 16-5, then you give them 5 points and just count the difference. That's the way it should be done. But
Apparently Complexity are winning 14-0 right now, so
close.
That's a close one. Here's the setup in the pistol round. We are live in the second half right now. And Exigent are on CT side, and this is, you know, CT side for me on Tuscan, if they've not got it down, they're going to fail pretty hard on it, I think. If you look at the way they're set up here, they basically looking for a retake here on the one side. That's their plan, rather than defending it up close range. Here's Anthony. He's taken down Ian. They should get the bomb plant in here any second, Sway, if they're quick enough. And they're bunched together, and that's such a grenade magnet right there, waiting to happen. There goes A to Z, having a look over the box, then deciding as he takes damage that it's not worth it. Finally, they get the bomb down. Deacon's going to sneak in here, and actually they planted over at the other side. Deacon's taking you down, as A to Z will take out Anthony. SFX moving in here. Are they defusing? Yes, Deacon's on the defuse right now, and we are on HLTV, so we can't see it. And they are going to get the defuse, and Exigent are going to pick up the pistol round here in the second half and bring the score back to 13-3. Great start.
hallelujah. It's game on from this point on right now. Exigent are back in it and at 'em.
They're going to win 16-14. That's my bet. And if I'm right, I'll give everyone who's watching absolutely nothing.
Yesterday
Good
you were
bet.
offering like $1,000 to every viewer.
Yeah, well, I'm not stupid.
You're not even going to do like 500 or something?
Not even a penny. I haven't seen the amount of people viewing, so you never know how bankrupt you're going to be at the end of it. Here's Anthony down that middle, and he should have kept firing there with the FAMAS because they were all lined up for him for a second. A to Z the only one to get the kill. Deacon will finish onto Ness, who had finished moving up that middle area. And that will be another another round for Exigent. 13-4.
Exigent are suddenly clearly a second half team. They don't like to peak too early. And maybe, just maybe, they will turn this one around.
Maybe Sway just had a really good CT side and Exigent had a really bad T side, and that could all change here.
Do you believe in the Easter Bunny, Joe?
No, but I believe in Santa Claus.
I've forgotten that before. Technical gets himself 2 frags. Deacon and SFX both pick up a frag. And Technical has to chime in with one more as Sway find themselves in a little spot of bother here. Technical's only got 9 points of health left. And they now need to...
Oh, good position for A to Z, hiding in that highly graphical grass. Nighthound and Cool Fool remain. Cool Fool should get a fairly easy frag actually onto Technical. Should Technical peek him here, because he will be watching. But Technical could get in. No, he won't do. Cool Fool will hold him off. Oh, and A to Z's on 2 as well. Yeah, hug the box and then go in. And then you'll fool him. Yeah. Good work. But there's Nighthound with the FAMAS, and that will be 3-0 and 13-5 overall. Good stuff from Exigent. A comeback would actually be really fantastic. I'd enjoy it a lot.
Well, then I think they should do it. Just for you. To set themselves up. Exigent are daring to do the impossible here as they start to grow with a little bit of confidence after picking up these 3 rounds. 13-5 the score. And Sway will be wondering, hold on, we should be cleaning this one out. Exigent pick themselves up 2 frags there, make that a 3rd, 4th, and now there's just 1 more left to go, and Exigent will be 4 rounds to the good here. Ian's the last man standing. Speaking of 4, he's only got 4 points of health, and that's just Ian or bust, and this is going to be 13-6, and Exigent's comeback may be on the cards. It'll be something special, something you'll tell your grandchildren about, but it's starting, unless Ian and his AWP have anything to do with it. Frag onto Anthony. And now there's 2 men left to find for Ian. As he goes, walkies. AWP's up. He doesn't have the bomb. He's trying to work out which dead body it's lying on and whether he can get there. There are 3 down there, and he's looking around every nook and cranny.
Oh.
But Nighthound picks him off, and it's 4-0, Joe. Exigent are flying.
Yep, 13-6 now. They're up, or they're down, should I say, really. But still, 4-0 is a great start here to their CT campaign. And maybe we wrote Exigent off just that little bit early. We'll have to see about that. I'd like to be proven incorrect in my analogy, actually, and that they will come back in this match and give us a close one. Here's Ness going down to Cool Fool early on. Technical. Waiting out, and you know, Sway's strats have been a bit more dynamic, I'd say, than Exigent, and you can see that Ian and A to Z are actually moving underground and are going to come up at the back of this one site. Certainly Ian is. There's A to Z, bit of a spam through the floor looking for that kill. Technical is down. Ian still waiting for the call. And they're both going to move through there. Not sure what they're going to be able to achieve because Cool Fool will be watching. There is Cool Fool again, having a peek as Yayu has picked off SFX. And now 3-on-2. Here's A to Z. He was close to getting the headshot there. He was going to spray the wall next to his head. It's Cool Fool. Yayu will move in as well now. And Sway with the disadvantage. Now it's even again. A to Z. And a good opening onto this site. Yeah, you just turning away from the flashes as Nighthound comes in. And Nighthound will get the double to finish. And it's another one for Exigent. 13-7.
I can't believe it. They're not only just picking up the rounds that you'd expect them to win after picking the pistol, they're picking up some buy rounds. And Sway, for all their shouting, are collapsing here. Absolutely collapsing. This is game on Exigent. If they can just keep doing what they're doing, because things have changed a little for them in this. Their defensive positions are much stronger. It could be a case of them simply not knowing this map as well as you'd expect, and having taken some time, they're now on defense, which is naturally, you know, stop them coming to you rather than planning attacks. And maybe, just maybe, Sway are taking this round a lot slower, and I think that's out of necessity that they need to get a grip on this and start using their individual talents to pick up some frags.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, we've seen some brilliant CT defences throughout the last few years, or a couple of years really, on Tuscan. And right now, Sway are unable to find a way to break this Exigent defence, and that's a real problem for them. And they still lead by a good amount of rounds, but you can never really tell where it's going to end. And, you know, that rot at the moment certainly working with Exigent, and they'll probably be feeling a little bit more confident after a bit of a crappy first half, and you know they'll be feeling a little bit down from that. But 5 off the bounce here at the start, absolutely brilliant. Here's Technical and another teammate, which is A to Z, as they start to move up there. What are they going to manage here? They've lost 1 man already. Yeah, you watching over the middle area as Ian's taken out Deacon, and this bomb's going to be planted here by Sway in the 2 site, and that's the finally a move that they really needed from this one. SFX has got himself 1. Didn't see Ian there, who not sure where that spray came from, but probably just from balcony through that main entrance. Cool Fool grabbing 1. Here comes Cool Fool again, and he will spray, but Ian will hold on firm, and finally Sway will find their first round here in the second half to bring us back to 14-7. And that'll be a bit of a sigh of relief for them, and I assume that they screamed pretty loud when they picked up that round.
Well, now they have to turn this around. Now the window of opportunity is with them, and they have to win this game and close it out, because Exigent have had their moment in the sun.
Yeah.
And we're about to see whether the sun will shine on the Americans of Sway. Exigent instantly onto, well, SFX has had to deagle. His teammate, you can see, is prowling with the M4. So instantly this is a round of disadvantage to them. You can see A to Z and Ian are making their way around underneath to come up from that side. So Sway ready to make their assault, but this a tricky scenario for Exigent. All of their enthusiasm may well have just been sucked out of them.
Yeah, and these two men coming in from the door here. Always difficult to predict when this door's actually going to be open. There goes the pistol thrown at the door by Ian. He's going to flash out there as the door is closed back up. Now, Sway again. We'll look for that window of opportunity. Or is it a door of opportunity in this case? As Ian will be the only one to get a kill in this assault. Yayu will back up. What can Exigent do here on the hold? They've taken down Technical, and it's now all on Yayu. And Exigent, after losing that 6th round there, looking like they're going to pick up the 7th again and keep themselves on top. There's a big hit to the head of Yayu. He's got to be on around about 20, yep, 24. And there goes Deacon to finish off. And the perfect kind of bounce back there for Exigent. Exactly what they needed.
Yeah, Exigent, Sway are going to be asking themselves, which team did we just play in the first half and swept them aside?
Yeah.
Because 13-2 in the first half is not 6-1 in the second half to the other side. It's 14-8 now. We actually have a game on our hands, which is the first time we've been able to say that in 2 days, because we have an opponent that's offering something back. And Sway are going to charge up the middle. They're on another save round because they've instantly lost and turned this around. So the money system not in their favor, and as long as SFX can do some damage here, which he can, I'll let Anthony and Deacon come along and help him. That will be another round to Exigent, 7-1. And dare we perhaps have spoken too soon, Joe? It's lucky when you turn around at half-time and said, I'll not give anyone anything if he wins, if they turn this around, because there is potential for it. Contrary to what the scoreboard says, Sway did not win that round, and they're not at 15 rounds. We're not at match point. It's 14 rounds to 9.
Yep. There you go. We changed it with the power of our minds. Right now, Sway looking to work their way into this second half. And, you know, they've still got 5 rounds to play with here, and they'll still be feeling slightly confident about this. Yeah, the worry starts to set in, but when the score gets to 11, maybe 12, that's when they start really panicking, and that's the point where you can really lose it as well. Deacon moving into this site. He's finally dropped. Bomb should get planted. No, it won't. Nighthound's come in, and this could be a real big problem for Sway, because Yayu is down by middle. A to Z just outside of this site, and Anthony now has to put up a nice solo performance. 1 versus 2. There's Yayu. There's A to Z. Yayu's going to make his way in. They're probably going to rush him at exactly the same time here. The flashes do go in, and yes, they will push in at the same time, and it was Yayu from behind who got the kill, and that will be game point for Sway. And we've got a good 6 rounds to deal with this as well and move up to that final 16.
Perhaps a little bit of inexperience there for Anthony in that 1-on-2 situation there to not be able to pick it up. But maybe the fairy tale's over for Exigent, but from Sway's perspective, they'll be looking at this and they'll be furious with themselves that this got this close. They are a team full of experience. They're a team that have been looking at 3rd place and saying, we want that, and maybe we want a shot at the title ourselves. And this morning's performance for them will not have done anything to convince us that that's likely to happen. They'll face Complexity next as well, who last we heard were 14-0 up, flying, albeit against a team who played Source, not 1.6.
I'd imagine they've won that already.
And everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Technical picked himself up the frag on a Deacon. SFX and Anthony both pick themselves up a kill. As Exigent have a man advantage in this round. And we'll be hoping that they can convert that into another round. And by Jove, they may make it into double figures regardless here.
Yeah, and that in itself would be a really nice kind of finishing for them. Even if they lose 20-10, let's say, overall. I think they'll be really happy with that anyway. There goes the 10th round, actually, 15-10. And we do have just the 5 rounds remaining. And still, they're on for a draw. You never know. They could put up that 13-2 half that we saw from Sway.
Yeah, it's still alive, the dream. And we'll see whether they're able to convert that in this one. As they need to win the remaining 5 rounds to tie the game.
Is this an eco from Sway? They seem to be chatting. Yeah. So this should be 15-11 unless something goes really wrong. And they are just taking it as time to kind of say, come on guys, settle down, let's chill and work our way back into this matchup. And here goes Deacon, pushing aggressive down the middle. He is finally going to be dealt with by A to Z, who will free himself up an M4. 3 versus 4. Advantage with Exigent. Here they come down that middle area. Nighthound just standing firm. A to Z, for me, has been probably the outstanding player for Sway. And he's the one that maybe could help close this round off here. 2 versus 3. And that's doable. If they get this next kill and give Ness a weapon, then Exigent could be in a little bit of trouble. Only 30 seconds remaining. Sway will have to start to work their way in a little bit sooner. And there is the weapon that Ness was wanting. It came from SFX, who probably should have done better in the situation he was in there. They are going to push now into this site. Anthony sat at the back. He knows where one is. Sprays one down through the box. He's looking for the second, which he won't find. But he's got Cool Fool as backup. And that was a flash, I think, there. Yep. Now it's all on Ness, who will take out Anthony. 1 versus 1. Cool Fool versus Ness. And there's the timer. And that was, a good little effort from Sway in the end, but wasn't able to come through it. And it will be 15-11. 4 to go.
4 to go, and suddenly this is a little bit nervous for Sway. They're on a bye round now, and they will just want to get this over as soon as possible. Because we've all been in that situation where a team below you are doing a lot more damage than they should have done. And it causes arguments. And you need time to talk it out and fix it. Oh dear, what a miss from Anthony as Yayu gets himself the frag onto one. Ness comes in with another. SFX, though, does pick up 2 frags. And Exigent are level on this one. It's 3 versus 3. And make that 3-on-2 as SFX has got himself a hat-trick of frags. Nighthound helped himself to 1 more. And Sway collapsing in front of our eyes. 1 man left standing is Ian, and he's going to have to go huge. Pick up 3 frags and win the round and the match for Sway if he were to do this. But this is a tall, tall order as he stands patiently waiting for them. 55 seconds to go. Gets himself the frag onto Nighthound there, who came looking. And that's the last thing Exigent need to be doing right now. Sit. Let him come to you. At 3, they really had the opportunity to outnumber him. Now they've got to split the bomb sites up and have 1 on each. And try and lock him down. That fool just right arm angled me. I pity the fool.
Here is Cool Fool. Probably you should have maybe expected him to get that frag, which he won't do. Ian will keep watching. He's going to grenade here, but I think he's moved away. No, Cool Fool didn't move away. And Ian is going to get in there and get the bomb down. He's taken out 2 now. Only 1 more to find. SFX, who has been the big man of this round for Exigent, has to become even bigger. And this is a position for Ian as he sprays, and he does a horrible job of hitting these shots. Going to go in there with the Glock, and he will get the kill. And Sway will pick up the victory. And he'll be probably shaking, judging by his aim there at the end. But he got the job done the hard way with the Glock, and it will be the victory for Sway. And I think they'll all have just breathed out very heavily.
Okay, that was not right, to put it politely. That's not the way that match should have gone for Sway. They should have closed it out much, much earlier than they did. And suddenly now they're going to have to well, they're going to have to quickly forget this game and get onto a game against Complexity and pick themselves up if they want to have any hope of offering anything in that game.
Well, Exigent here could still bring back 16-14, which, on paper is a lot better for their, positioning later on in the group. Here's Deacon as the last man alive with the USP. He's going to get dropped as soon as he gets spotted here, and it will be by Ian. And we hit 17-11, just a couple of rounds to go.
Yeah, this is the first game we've had that's actually come close to being a match. Yeah. So thank you, Exigent, for doing that. But there's still work to be done from their perspective. They will look at this and say, we could have perhaps offered more. Or could have perhaps taken this one. Sway have been far from convincing.
Yeah, the thing is that Exigent will be kicking themselves now, because after that first half, they're like, well, we've had a crappy first half and we've probably lost this game, but if that half would have been closer and they still had the hope and then put in this CT side that we've seen them do here, then they're probably the ones that would be on 17 now. So, they will probably learn a lot from this one and just hope that they can pull something special out a little bit later on against Complexity, because that's now their only hope. And if they're able to beat Complexity, they'd create a big upset as well.
Yeah, Complexity, obviously, name that have been synonymous with North American gaming for a very long time. And we'll be looking to pick up their target in North America is beat EG. The rivalry between those teams is big. Perhaps more so from the management level than the player level at some point, because I think the EG players, with no disrespect to the Complexity players, are looking to the Europeans that they want to beat.
Yeah.
But certainly the words this time last year exchanged from Mr. Lake to the EG side were not pleasant.
It was a bit of a drama, that one. And there's these finals are pretty much full of EG and Complexity rivals. In all three games, actually, we saw EG beating Complexity WoW yesterday 3-0. We had Vu losing out to Vu beating Chance, but then losing to Griffin, and lots of EG Complexity games going on all over the place. And maybe we'll get to see that later on. Now, obviously, EG will be up in the first semi-final, and they'll play the second position from Group B. So maybe that's going to be Sway, or we have to see if Sway can pull something special and maybe beat Complexity earlier, and that could give us a Complexity EG semi-final, which will be interesting. Either way, this game will end. Was it 18-12 in the end?
Yes.
6. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So there we go.
A good game, which I think was a surprise to all of us, given the way the first half went, and given the way that the tournament's gone thus far. We've actually had a very good game.
Yeah, we certainly have. Complexity. Wow.
There's a lot of German in that text.
A lot of German. Yeah. I have no idea what happened there. Blah, 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 blah. German. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll try and give you some updates from the Complexity game, and then also move into the next game, which will, as far as I'm aware right now, be Complexity versus Sway. Don't go anywhere.